Hello boys and girls, my name is HotST and welcome back to another day in Minecraft without mining here out in our quarry location. And last time we dug this 1,000 block long tunnel, and today we need side trenches, small side trenches for now. And I think our flying machines that we use to dug out this initial part have to go. In order to figure out where exactly the trenches need to be, I need to figure out how the actual quarry dimensions are, because there is a left side, a right side, and then the middle can be tiled, but it's not one-wide tileable, so there is a certain alignment that we have to reach. And I think on this side we can maybe go up to here, while on the other side we want to have a bit of space left here on the left, because we need to put in place a system that transports all the blocks away to be stored somewhere. I have loaded in the schematic for the quarry, and here it is. The vertical alignment is not yet completely fixed, but what we need to know is basically the location where we have these endstone walls, because that's where we need to build our trenches. So let's place a marker block here, and then also on the other side we have one here, and then we can make this disappear and figure out how to build the trenches. There we need to take care that we cover the whole heights of the quarrying area. I think it goes up to 133 blocks, and yeah, I have no idea how this part will work. The first part of our trencher is built, and it's probably the most important one, because this is the part which basically lifts a 3-wide block triangle from the terrain and lifts it up, where it then gets exploded further up there. And the way this works is the 2 front blocks is basically a flying machine, and as we have slime in there, the blocks in the wall here will stick to the 3 sides, and that's how they get lifted up. And then the back side here, that's basically for moving the signal from top to bottom and also pushing everything forward. You can see that we have an extended piston here. If that retracts, it will pull this piston forward, which is then triggered by this block, which will push the front part with it. And if we go down to the bottom, there we basically have another push-pull system here to bring everything forward. And an important part are these 3 pistons here in front on the level of the glass, because they push everything one block forward, so inward, and this basically means that in this 3 wide gap we will not have any liquid sources. It can still happen that we have liquid sources outside, and we have to get rid of those because if it should happen that water and lava mixes, we either get obsidian or cobblestone, and this can seriously break the machine. So we cannot just let the machine run, but we have to be careful while running. So next part there on top is basically the control system, which controls the TNT duplicator, the moving up, moving down, moving forward part, and that's probably the most complicated section of the whole thing. Over here I walled in the water, so once the middle part is removed by our trencher, no water flows in from the outside. And I also finished this part here. This is the control mechanism. It's looking quite complex, and what it does is once the flying machine comes up, this is pushed forward because down there we have the pistons that constantly push. This will bring this forward, this will bring everything forward. So basically, once the grabber, which is the part down below, reaches the top, we move the control station one forward. We also activate the TNT duper up here, and this is quite a fast one, which is on 2 ticks delay, and it's a fast one because the flying machine up here moves quite fast, and with each block we move up, we basically get 3 blocks that need to be destroyed, and we have a bit of a piston tape going on here, these two pushing those forward on the side, and then we have here one which pushes here to the left and then out here, and then somewhere over here very close to the push limit they get exploded and destroyed. And turn on and off button is basically this fence gate here. This is observed by this observer, and this will trigger the whole thing. And then here we basically have 2 lines for signals, one going up, that's this one here, and then we have the one going down from there, because that's basically where we then detect the no, this is the one going up, because at a certain point we have to return the flying machine that arrived here at the top back down, which means this one is the one going down. All right, then let's cross our fingers and hope that this machine actually works as intended. I imagine it will take quite a while because the flying machine needs to go up to there and then down again. So maybe it's 1-2 minutes per slice. And one thing we have to consider is we can only mine a trench to that height max, but this is not really a problem here on this side because the terrain is not that high. Over on the other side of our quarry it's a bit higher, so we will have one additional step to get rid of the highest layer before we can do the trenching. This seems to be working as intended, so I will have a look out for any water or lava flowing in, building up the second trencher, and then before we start that one, we can see about skimming off the top layers that are in the way on the other side. I think the maximum height that we can use the trencher on is 126, so this block is a bit lower, and we just have to get rid of this top part here, which is about 100 blocks long. So my first thought was let's have a TNT duper running back and forth, but seeing that we basically only need to go 1 to 5 blocks down, I think a better option is actually to use some TNT, doing it manually, because that's way faster than what we would do if we create a duping machine. And we do have enough resources to make this happen. 17, that's the middle block, so we need 1 free on each side for this to work. So I will blast my way through this top part, and then we can send on the trencher here along this way, as I did with the first one. The 2 side trenchers have reached the end of our intended quarry, which means we are basically ready to put in the machine for the main quarry. This, however, will be a bit more complicated than just putting everything in place, because there are a lot of pieces that need to match together, not just for the quarry, but we also have to figure out how to deal with any of the materials, so we can store them, sort them, and have all this processed in a good manner. But as you can imagine, that will mean we just have a few more episodes for this quarry project before we end this series. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and tune in next time for more quarry action. Until then, goodbye!